Hi. So I wanted to teach a class on like structured Futomomos. One's more made for lifting because I think the only other class I've done on it was like different variations and just kind of like talking about how it can be like a playground. There's the Agura, which is like the self tire's watering hole, but then this is like the self tire's delight because you've just got a perfect little unit to work with here. So yeah, anyway, I wanted to go over specifically Futo's made for lifting. Whether you're doing it for play and partials or you want to do a full Futo suspension, I'm just want to show a few variants. You'll need two, 8-meter pieces of rope, and then two shorties or half pieces, 4 meters probably, and you should be good. But anyway, let me go ahead and zoom in and give you a really good view. We'll go over a few different variations. Whenever you're doing a lift like this, so whether you load it in here or out here is going to make a big difference. Typically, if you're loading something out here, it's going to be much more difficult to sustain. And if it's in here, it can be a lot easier because you're pulling out here where you've got more like just muscle mass and stuff, but in here you've got the more sensitive thigh skin that you're pulling at. So, but they'll give you different forms too. I feel like it's the inside one makes you want to kind of hunch forward a little bit more, and the outside one makes you want to arch your back a little more. So they can really give different forms. Yeah, play with both. But let me go ahead and zoom in. But these are the ones that I've been doing pretty much all my lifts on, and I've probably done like maybe 20 Futo lifts. Okay, and come down a little bit more. So you want to start with your bow line on your ankle with a long piece. So just your standard Somerville bow line or whatever your preferred single column is. So I typically do these on the inside most because they're the most sustainable. I don't know, they're just easier in every other way, and I prefer them. So the way I prefer to do these now, we could do like a reverse tension one, but I really prefer this method of wraps that I've been doing a lot lately. So, and the trick is like the main thing is that like most people know where on their shin it is, but there's usually one spot, it's like here or something, where that nerve is going to be the worst. So whenever you wrap these, your goal is always to try to avoid that hot spot. And for me, I think it's about right there. But anyway, so you'll do your wrap and go as evenly as you can, but you go once. And here you want to have just maybe a teensy bit of slack because you don't want to make this first wrap too tight because we're going to pull this one up. And if this one is tighter than your other wraps, it can cause issues. So on your first wrap, you want to have good laid tension here. But when you get here, you need to make sure that you give it a little bit of that. And then you can even hold them right here. Hold all 4 pieces together while you do your second wrap. Okay. And that's where you lay your tension evenly, and that'll land you here. So right now you've got all 3 right here. And so what I do is I'll come under here and grab that original one and pull out like this and just trap it right here, and then see that leaves this middle one just kind of floating. So what you'll do is you'll immediately snag that one too. And this keeps them together and it keeps everything walked up. But then to do our kanuki, because it is extremely important to do kanukis on these if you're going to be putting load on them. So you'll want to move from here straight into the kanuki. The opening looks to be if I go in right here and through. So let me get a little bit closer. This piece right here is going to come through. And it's going to get pulled to the other side. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like over here. So on this side, since this kanuki looks like, well, usually I load them from the top. So you'll want to take it and snag that top, and we're going to come back the other way. And since that one exited on bottom, we're going to enter on the bottom. So we exited, or we originally left through here, went over there, snagged it, came back, and now we're here again. So all we want to do before we make our next wrap is we want to like snag this tension and trap this whole thing so everything is locked off. So one way we can do that, that I see, so there is my entrance and there's my exit right there. So I'm going to take my finger and actually go through and push that. And then do my pull through. And now I've got the whole thing trapped and locked off. So now I can continue to move up and do my second wrap. So mobility, traveling from here, it's great. Nothing is going to shift. These lines are even. Here, here's not great, but it's always difficult on that first side. Yeah, especially out of that, yeah. So that's your challenge then. Anyway, so next one, you do a wrap. Again, remember, you don't want to pull this first one too tight because this is where we're going to do our, like our stem and stuff. So come back around, and then you can trap them here if you want with one hand, and then continue to move around to lay your tension, and that way it gives you a chance to really make sure you're laying your tension evenly. And then that's going to put you here, which is like, I call like 3-car or like a, I don't know, like a 3-lane highway or something like that. Or a 6-lane highway, whatever, dude. But like, a lot of people, I don't know, go under at this point, but yeah, so you're going to go over and you're snagging that stem right there. And like, once you get the hang of snagging that tension, because you're only grabbing that one rope. And see, this one is free right now. And that's why it's important to maintain this whole thing by going back under and grabbing it like this. And so I've about run out of rope, but technically you can tie off, and this is decent right now. If you were going to do like lift from this way, this would be just fine. But if you're going to lift it in a suspension or something, or a partial where you're going to be lifting up, this does have the potential to slide, even though it being so snug, it's tough to say if that would come all the way up. So again, that's why I would not kanuki this if I'm doing it like upside down. So if this is all going to be pulling this way, there's no chance of this sliding up over the knee. I really usually only kanuki this one. But I kind of want to test it, but the other part of me doesn't. But this is how I was doing a lot of them, and then I would just put the carabiner here, and then just hook it up, and kind of just drift into it, you know. So that was the first original style that I was doing a lot of my Futo lifts on, which is worked fine, but I have kind of changed it a little bit, especially if we're going to do the outside, because again, we're doing the inside here, so this outside is where all the load is going to be, is all out here, but you've got much more, like, tougher skin and more muscle to kind of, like, hold you in place as opposed to in here. So when you're doing it in here and you're loading out here, you're going to need more support and structure for this to not, and it's also advised to wear leggings. Like, I don't know. Never have I done rope, like, with short shorts. And done like Futo lifts where afterwards I wasn't like, that was nothing but a mistake. Like, that was just always leggings. Like, I don't know. My poor skin. But, I don't know. It's part of the masochism for a lot of people, I guess. So, we're going to go ahead and do it on this one. We're going to structure it on the outside. Right? Yeah. But we're going to do triple wraps this time. And we're going to do double kanukis. So now you know the foundation of kanuki and wraps, so we're going to beef it up. So single column. Do you ever have that dream where like you're like leading a rope class and you try and do a single column and like you can't? And like everybody starts to like point and laugh and you're like, I swear I know how to do it. Like, I don't know. I don't. Okay. I'm not even showing the camera. I'm like, look, if you don't know how to do it, I'm not showing you. This is secret. Secret single column time. Okay, so single column in place. We're gonna build it on the outside this time. Let me see if I can come a little bit lower. Yeah. So, go ahead and start on the outside. You'll want to make sure you don't, since we're doing triple wrap, you don't want to come too far up. So here's where it's going to be a little tighter. Okay, so you can hold it there if that helps you, holding those two in place. Once you get going fast, you can wrap these real fast, and you don't really need to do this tension holding trick. But once you've got your 6-lane highway here, you'll come up over, and you're going to snag that stem. You strapped it, now you got your middle rope to worry about, come back under. Now you've got it. Now to go through to do the kanuki, here's your opening. Grab that, pull your finger, and then that's just to set it. Now to do the actual kanuki, I'll let the rope drop, come all the way underneath, and usually we'll want to start on the top. And when you work the kanukis through your legs, you'll really get the hang of how you let it, because you'll see this in the second one of how we're going to let it drop so we're not shoving our hand between either your or your bottom's big meaty thighs, as we all tend to kind of have. Okay, so grab it, come back through, and how are we going to trap it? Come here. Just something as simple as that. Just keep it in place. Okay, so we'll go to our second one. Here is where our stem is roughly wants to be. It's about right here. So instead of pulling it and doing our wrap, remember we want to leave just enough for that to be able to be there. And we could build we'll probably build a carabiner into this one. Well, no, actually maybe I don't know. Let's see. So that, there you hold the two. This is a really good exercise on tension laying. And now here you are at the 6. So this is the move here that I thought people might struggle with, is you let this working end come, snag only that first one, stem right there, and now you've got it. Now you can come under here and grab both, and then lock it off. Or go to do the kanuki rather, because we're doing another kanuki. And that means we'll need to extend the rope between the legs, which is a nightmare, but we're going to do it. Okay, I'm going to extend with a short piece, because that's all we need. Okay, so the next kanuki is going to be basically like the one we just did. So we've already got the entrance set up here. If you do not recall, it is coming in here. So does that help at all? Let me undo it, even though the rope extension is in there, just so I can show. Okay, so this is the kanuki entrance, and I'm pulling it through. Don't be deceived by the way I'm going to do a pull through, because this just makes the whole thing easier for me to deal with. Instead of shoving it through your leg there, what you're going to do is you're going to let that working end... I'm holding, wait a minute. You might have to actually let it drop. You might have to go back over that wrap and let the whole thing drop through. And then let it go under the leg. So that's where we are here. But then you're going to take it and you're going to take it up through there, but then you're also going to take it up through this one, because you want to wrap from the top down. So now you've pulled that rope through the other side of the leg without shoving it through anybody's meaty thighs or whatever. And that's better for everybody, especially if you've got nails and they've got sensitive skin. So to go back through, we're going to do the similar thing because, again, we don't want to just shove that through. You can even take the working end if this makes it easier. My working ends are nowhere even because I didn't pay attention. But go ahead and take them and just push them through that first one. And then, once you've got it back on the other side, you'll do a similar trick where you just kind of avoid this wrap. And you come back up here and you're going to kind of like work it between your legs to set it. And then there it is. So there's the Kanuki exit. So what you're going to do to wrap back in, to lock it in, is you're going to do a move like that. And then I would do it even again. And then this will give you your mobility for your third wrap. So, 1, 2, trap that stem in the weirdest way, and then you've got it, and then you snag that middle one that's still floating. Got it. And that's it. And I mean, you can eat up your rope, or you can just cut it off and buy a new rope at the end of each tie like I do, or whatever, you know. Yeah, so this would be a good lifter, and I actually am going to test this one. It's a good lifter. Ooh, are you trying? It looks good, Ellie. That looks good. Okay, let me adjust this camera angle real quick. We're going to give this one a little shot and see what happens. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, I'm doing this for science and curiosity's sake, not my own entertainment, for the record. I'm on a self-suspension hiatus. I'm not doing this for fun. I hope it's fun though. I'm really curious. I'm like, I hope I can still do this good. Oh, she's beautiful. She's my beautiful self-suspension. Oh my God. Oh, she's so good. Oh, how did I ever doubt you? Why haven't I done you for 4 weeks? Let me get a picture. I'm all getting pictures here. No, during class. How dare you? But there it is. So there is a structured futo that is really good for lifting, done on the outside. And to me, if I can do a spinnies on a single futo that is lifted on the outside, I'm a happy girl. I'm very happy. And if you're anything like me, you'll be happy too. Okay, don't take pictures. Back to class. Anyway. I knew I wasn't going to be able to resist. I was like, if you go up, you're going to want a picture. Oh my God, I'm terrible. Worse than Bowser over here. But anyway. Yes, I am worse than the villain from Super Mario Brothers. Worse than that. let's see. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and unwrap this. At this point, does anybody have any like questions or concerns or like queries or any particular part of the structure you don't understand or you want me to go over again? Oh, and you can unmute yourself if you need to, or use the chat box. I do want to do probably one more inside loaded really quick, just to kind of go over the nuance of it one more time. Just because I might as well. So the kanuki thing is super duper important, knowing how to draw those up and down easily without wearing out the energy of your fingers by pushing and hurting your bottom or your skin or whatever. Really, it's the finger. I think it's the finger strength and the endurance that I find most important when you're doing a lot of tying, is making sure that you're not burning out your endurance, doing dumb things like pushing through thighs. Especially when you're doing self-tying and you're doing a lot of rope and a lot of intensity. If you're sitting there spending 10 seconds sweating trying to push on a thing versus doing an elaborate, like, yeah, I got to take a walk around the whole, like, 3 houses next to me just to get to the backyard. I don't go through the backyard fence, but, like, I don't get, like, stuck by stickers and bit by ants back there. It's like, it's cool when I just take the long way. But essentially, this is the method I prefer most, as opposed to the reverse tension methods for doing this. That little wrap method, where you trap the one and you leave the middle hanging for a second, God, that thing has really served me well recently. So I'm really into showing that one off and kind of exploring more what it has to offer. Okay. Let's adjust this light. Okay, we're going to zoom in and do one on the inside. What else do we need? We're going to build... Should we build a carabiner? Nah. Yeah, we'll build a carabiner into it. Okay, let's zoom in on this. So we're going to do this one. God, it's such an awkward angle. That's fine. Okay, so we'll do it like this. Start with a long piece, do your single column. I just now realized I had the dryer going the whole time. I apologize. But now I'm like, oh God, where's my white noise? Like, that was so zen. Like, can we just get a dryer going sometimes? Like, yeah, it's called doing laundry. Okay, so do this thing on the inside, which is going to be easier. We're still going to double kanuki it. You could triple kanuki it if you're real brave. I did that once, but like literally the kanuki on top was like the tightest one, it seemed like, or it seemed to pull the worst, and it just seemed like there was no worth, unless you're doing an upward lift, like you're raising a knee up. So if you want to do it for like a challenge run or something, that'd be cool. But, whatever. Okay, one. And so, okay, I was teaching y'all to hold these two while you run around the second one. So I don't normally do them like that. So I was going to like kind of demonstrate to you more how I've been doing them. And then start your kanuki run. Over, snag it. Come back, trap it. And I don't think I was doing a double trap on the other ones, but I probably should have been. So, trap it again. come on, wrap this one. And I don't think I wrapped shin first last time, but since this is where the danger area usually is, this probably is a good time to try to feel for that on yourself and make sure that you're going to be able to avoid that. There's one, and then you trap the whole thing. And then we've got our rope extension, and this is so dirty. I hate doing a rope extension like this. You know, it's like everything's like right in the middle getting worked up. Yeah, so anyway, there it is. Get a shorty. Oh gosh. I'm not gonna lie, this is the part I hate the most. Is feeding down for the kanuki. So feed it down. I went down kind of a weird side too, because now I gotta feed it through this one too and avoid that one. Come over here. Bring it up. Avoid. And avoid. And now you probably need to pull this whole thing up and reset it. If it's anything like mine. Oh, did mine get snagged in the wrong place? No, it's just that dirty knot. That's that big extension I've got. Okay, so there it is. There's mine reset. So, snag that, and you obviously just can't go through, so you're gonna work your way back down. And again, sometimes if you're too, this is a little snug, so I would actually take the ends and just pop them through. Okay. Back here and avoiding. Now, kind of even it back up. It can be really easy to pull this too hard and upset your kanuki. So make sure you don't do that. And then you come up here and then you lock it. Okay. And then to make your next move, this whole thing is really snug. Then you got your mobility to go to your third wrap. So you got two beefy knots over here. You got two elegant kanukis with a dirty rope extension right there. I don't know if you saw that. You see that thing? It's hideous. It's lurking in the abyss. Okay, last wrap. 1, 2. Grab, lock off. Boom. All done. And we will tie off and test. See how we did. Whew, yes, and one of the really great exercises of this, of course, is your tension laying. This, is a wonderful way to get your tension laying, especially when you're doing lifts, because, it's all more than important for these lines to be as even as they can be. Okay, let's give it a little test while I guiltily and fiendishly take photos like a little photo gremlin. Yep. That's right. Okay. We're also gonna, no, we're not gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. Okay, light. Carabiner between the first and the second. Okay. This one's tighter. I'm not gonna be able to do this one. It's easy. I don't think. We're gonna find out. And by tighter, I mean I wrapped it more snugly around my legs, but I don't know. I don't know if that's just my imagination or not. We're about to find out. Great. What sucks? The bottom wrap isn't. It's not bad, honestly. I was just say if I could pick out anything to be like, oh, that sucks. The bottom wrap is probably the most stressful. Let's see. But yeah, it's not bad. Would warrant some spinnies, but honestly, this one is less comfortable than the other one. Yeah, I think the other one was better actually. But this one's really not bad at all either. Whew. Yeah, I mean that one honestly wasn't bad at all. I could have spent more time up there, but there's really no point in me just sitting here going spinnies. You go spinnies on your own time. You take pictures on your own time. Okay, alright, I get it. And that is it. That is my class on structured Futomomos. I would love to know new ways to do this that perhaps maybe like a diamond pattern or something. I don't know. I don't really do any diamond pattern things, but I love this just for the simplicity and how easy it pulls, especially without the shins being murderous. Oh, thanks for showing up, Braddy. Hi. It's good to see you. It was fun. I haven't done a lift in a long time. But yeah, y'all are free to turn on your mics if you want to ask questions or say whatever you want to say. That is basically all I came to teach. So you're welcome.